Broadcasting live each week on Tuesday at 12 p.m. from Fishbowl Studios. Log on to hear sports talk from basketball to football and view your feedback on the biggest sports news you want to talk about from around the world. So be sure to log on each week Tuesdays at 12 p.m. to catch the Jamie Egenti Show. Hope to see you soon
on Fishbowl Radio Network.
Jump in.
Hey, welcome to the Jamie Egenti Show right here on Fishbowl Radio. And it's Tuesday, November 29th, 2022. And before we start this Cowboys side, let's give a shout out to the USA. They beat Iran today, 1-0. Shout out to Christian Pulisic. Is that his name? Yeah, that's Christian Pulisic scoring the goal in the first minute, I think. Didn't watch the game, but shout out to the USA. They're going to play the Netherlands in the round of 16. But anyways, this game was many moons ago. That we had the Giants versus the Cowboys. How'd y'all think of it? What was your biggest takeaway of it? My biggest takeaway was the second half. I mean, how do we go from playing crappy in the first half to playing like all-stars in the second half? Is this how this team's built? Like, we're not a second-half team. We have to start off strong. And I'll tell you this. We play like that. You got teams coming up like the Colts and the Texans will beat us, like hands down. Like Dak threw two interceptions in the first half. I don't blame him. That's not his fault. Receivers got to run a decent route. CeeDee Lamb, you got to run a actual route. Like, come on, dude. What is wrong? This is why y'all are motivated by OBJ nonsense. Odell will be on this team no matter what. We talk about him every day going to Dallas. He'll be on this team either way or not. Either way. Whether y'all can ball out and all that stuff, but your quarterback has asked for it, your running back has asked for it. Heck, your linebacker has asked for it. Come on. It's up to Jerry to sign him. So he'll be on this team earlier than not. So, with this case, I want to turn it to Gabe. He wasn't here last week.
Hello.
So Gabe, welcome. I guess he went to Green Bay to watch the Green Bay beat Dallas last week. So, with that being said, your takeaway, sir. What's your main takeaway of this game?
This game was stressful.
Okay.
Because the Cowboys have a history of embarrassing me on Thanksgiving.
Yes. Yes.
So I've been in some very uncomfortable situations. I remember being in a room full of Saints fans when Roy Williams dropped a perfectly good touchdown pass in 2009.
My God. What an embarrassment.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So,
oh my gosh.
And that was a very specific memory, so you know it hurt.
Yeah.
But I say that to say, I'm just glad I wasn't embarrassed again.
Mm-hmm.
The first half gave me a lot of PTSD came up from that. You know what I'm saying? So, the first half, I got to be honest, I was very, very disappointed.
Yeah, it's very disappointing.
Defensively, we played well. Offensively, it looked like we did against Green Bay, to be totally honest.
Mm-hmm. In the second half. The second half, Green Bay offense.
Exactly. So, to me, I don't know what the answer is as far as consistency goes, and I feel like consistency comes from the coaching staff. We're the most penalized team in the NFL again.
We are. But that starts with the players.
I don't think so. I actually disagree with that.
The players are out there going on the field. I'm not saying Mike McCartney can teach that. Like, you got positions coaches that's teaching you that. We got veterans like Zach Martin holding on. We got rookies like Tyler Smith. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give him a pass because he got thrown into that left tackle position. And, you know, we're what, 12 games into this? And, he hasn't been taught the right technique to play to protect Dak's blind side. So I'll give him a pass on that. As far as everybody else needs to step up their game, and that is more of a technique issue on their part.
To be totally honest with you, it's a discipline issue.
Yes.
Penalties are discipline issues. When you lack discipline, that comes from the coaching staff.
So
the reality is the fact that, a lot of these penalties that we getting are penalties that happen within the realm of play. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So a lot of those penalties, they do come from technique and stuff like that. But whose job is it to enforce working and perfecting the technique?
That's not one coach's.
No, it's not one coach's.
That one coach's. That's why you have position coaches.
Yeah.
What would you want them to do? Would you say, okay, every time you get a pass interference call, maybe you get it two or three times, then we're going to run laps the next day? Do you want to go that route?
I mean, to be totally honest, these are adults.
Yes.
It's at the point where it's like, look, you get another pass interference, I'm fining you $25,000. Like, that's how I feel. Like, that's how I feel.
I'd rather run than lose money.
Exactly.
I'd rather run. Like, I can understand. I mean, yes, I can understand fining, but I'd rather run than lose money because you're sending a message saying that you're going to cost us games when you act disciplined like this.
And I'm gonna tell you though, like, these are professional athletes. The running stuff works when you're talking to high schoolers.
That's how you win championships.
And colleges.
Yeah.
But when you're talking to adults and professionals, it's a different mentality.
Exactly.
They can run all day.
But in order to win a championship, you got to be the lead. You got to be number one. You got to be parent number one. You got to say, we can't have this ish again, or else everybody's going to take it.
Exactly.
Like anytime any veteran gets into there's fights and practices. They're on the court, on the field, and everybody runs. When there's a fight on the field in practice amongst teammates, everybody runs on the court, on the field. They don't end practice that way. So with these penalties, I will rather go back to the basic stuff and say, if you get a penalty, we're going to run you the next day. That's multiple. That's how you. To me, that's sending a message that says, you know what, we're trying to win here. We don't care what our owner says. Our owner can spill nonsense on the radio like he does every single week, and the owner GM does the same thing too. And they're not talking. They want to get mad over, oh yeah, we're trying to get Odell and all that stuff. Well, damn. Okay. Well, whatever happened to when a player is out there, right? Like when a player is out released on his team, he gets picked up the next day or two. Whatever happened to that? Why we got to wait a week for Odell to come by?
I'm gonna tell you, like, because they want to bring him in to do a workout. I know how that process works a little bit now, and I get it. So it's not necessarily that they're waiting.
Yeah,
it's on Odell because he's the free agent in the situation.
Course.
So he has a bunch of different places he's trying to go. He wants to see different teams. And the truth of the matter is, you gotta play the game,
right?
And so that's a part of the free agency game, especially with a high-profile free agent.
Of course,
he's gonna come to Dallas, and he may not get out of the building. They may sign a contract right then and there. You never know. But if he's really weighing his options and trying to see what the best fit is for him,
right,
then I can't be mad. It's not even necessarily on the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? As long as he's offered a deal and he knows that deal is on the table, that's all that we can bank on. If he takes it or not, that's on him and his agent.
Okay.
So
I mean, I do see that, but I just don't want the waiting game, right? Because I feel like if these teams like the Bills or the Chiefs or you can say the Eagles, if God forbid, if one of the receivers go down, that's it, right? They get a call to Odell. They say, you know what, we're going to work out you this day. We're going to sign you on the spot.
And I'm going to tell you, though, the truth of the matter is the window of time for Odell to be signed is the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because
they
anything
said
beyond
December
that,
5th, they're going to visit with him. He has a meeting with the Giants and some other team this upcoming Friday. Oh yeah, it's Buffalo and I think the Giants, because he's going to be in New York all day long on Friday. Then Monday, the following Monday, he'll be in Dallas. So we could sign him on that Monday or Tuesday, whichever the day decides or he decides.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I think that it's one of those situations for Odell where he's in a power position right now because he knows there's several teams that could use him, but there's only one real team that needs him to make the next leap, and that's us. To be real,
That's
like
true.
as when it concerns a need, we're the team that needs him, and he wants to be needed.
I mean, we here's the thing. You got CD and Michael Gallup balling out the last 2 games, right? They're hearing all the noise from Dak to the running back to the linebacker, right? Michael Parsons. And so when you hear that noise, it motivates you to step up your game. It says that CD, I'm not going to drop another pass. Michael Gallup, I'm not going to make my quarterback look stupid on a route. I want to run my route. That's what these receivers have been doing, and unfortunately, it hasn't been enough.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So, with that being said, you do need an Odell on this team to get you to that next step.
Yeah.
You know, because I look at the NFC, right? You could say we're the third best team outside of Eagles and the 49ers. We're the third best team in the NFC.
I think we're better than the 49ers.
You think so?
I do. I think
Offensively, defensively, because they
as a whole,
As a
team
whole.
as a whole. When I look
Okay.
at team for team,
I like it. Yeah.
I'm willing to say that we're better than the 49ers,
Okay.
especially after watching them on Sunday.
I mean, their defense looks legit.
It does look legit. It does look legit, but I do think that ours is legit too.
Yes.
I think now that we've played 2 top-tier running backs in the last 2 weeks, Dalvin Cook and Saquon Barkley.
Yes, and we did. Oh yeah, Aaron Jones is not top tier running back, is he?
No,
but
but
he's not.
He's not considered that, but he will be.
They ran all over us.
Yeah, they did. And the last 2 weeks from Green Bay, because we saw how they ran on us, we switched it up.
Yeah.
You can see the difference. You can
Yeah.
clearly see the difference.
Yeah.
When you're going against Dalvin Cook is not no scrub.
He's not.
Dalvin Cook, he's a top 5 to 7
He's not. It's
running
just-
back in the league.
It's just Minnesota had awkward play calling.
They did have really bad play calling.
Yeah.
But at the same time, even when he was getting the ball, what was he doing? Not much.
He wasn't doing much.
Not much. Same thing with Saquon.
Yeah, he wasn't doing much. They were focusing more on the quarterback. The quarterback is always going to be the real deal. And Daniel Jones, I mean, you got to get him out of there.
Yeah.
You got to get. He's not the quarterback of the future. Like if you're talking about building,
You mean
he
Aaron
can't-
Rodgers? Yeah. You said Aaron Jones.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Aaron Jones. Yeah, Aaron Jones as a running back.
Yeah.
But no, he's not the future quarterback for in an NFL period. I just don't see it.
He's a win now type of quarterback. He has to be put in a situation like Brady was to go to Tampa Bay. He has to be put in a situation that's ready made for him.
And unfortunately, the Giants are not ready made for him.
Oh, absolutely not.
They're not ready made.
They're not ready made for themselves, for anybody. The Giants are the most overrated team in football. And I'm honest, like, I'm being honest in saying that. Like, they got the easiest schedule in the NFL.
They did.
They
But
have-
they beat the Packers. We didn't.
Man, any given Sunday. And the truth of the matter is we know our history with Green Bay.
Yeah.
We know our history with Green Bay.
We do.
It don't
We do.
matter what type of
We do.
team that they have, what
kind of
season it
weird.
is, it's always a challenge for us.
Right. Against
Why? I don't know.
unless number
But-
12 is back there, then
Yeah.
it's fair. We're gonna lose.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So,
I mean,
so
it is what it is.
like I said, the Giants are the most overrated team in football. I'm okay with saying that. I think most people would agree.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree because their team annoys me. I don't see
Their fans
what
annoy me.
direction. Yeah, I have a fan on Facebook. He's Giants all day, but I forgot to clown him.
Yeah. I don't even like the clown no more. You know why? Because it makes them just burn inside. Like
Right.
they just
They already
burn.
know what's coming.
Yeah, 'cause it's like when you're a parent and you like threaten to give your kid a whooping and be like,
Right.
go to your room and I'm gonna whoop you later, and you never
Yeah.
whoop them. That whooping is always on their mind. Like it's the same concept.
That's what
same
they
thing.
need. That's what they need. That's
Yeah.
what they need in Giantstown.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fair. Now, I want to ask you. Now, we did talk about Mike McCartney coming in. He made some jokes, which was funny.
Yeah. Definitely off-air jokes.
Off-air jokes, yeah. Off-air jokes, yeah. you never know. There's like some Mike McCartney fans out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Mike McCartney fan.
I'm not a Mike McCarthy fan at all.
I just feel like, he should get some consideration for Coach of the Year.
Huh?
To me, here's the reason why.
I'm listening.
Because you hear all the off-season talk. This talk started in March, right? On the radio, they said Sean Payton. Okay, Sean Payton resigned from the Saints. He said, okay, you know what? I'm going to take a step back for a little bit, go on TV. He's doing excellent on TV than he was the last 3 years as a coach. Mm-hmm. So all that Sean Payton talk was up until training camp. Okay, Mike McCartney didn't say anything about it because obviously you got somebody. The organization's thinking outside of the box. They're already thinking about their next candidate if this thing does not go through. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, Mike McCartney has done a decent job. When that went down, Cooper Rush came in. He went 4-1 as a starting quarterback. Mm-hmm. That came back. I think we're 2-2. We're 2-2. The offense has, ever since that came back, they have averaged 28 points a game. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, all together, Coach of the Year maybe.
Absolutely.
The wins, because the wins have gone up. I think this time last year we were 8-1. I think last year.
Something
Because
like
we went to KC and we lost.
Yeah, we lost.
I know
to
we
Kansas
lost that
City.
game. So that was the second loss or the third loss.
Yeah,
One of those losses.
Because we're 8-3 right now. Right?
Yeah, we're 8-3 right
So
now.
last
We're
year-
like 2 games behind Philly.
Because we lost a couple in a row last year. I think
Yeah,
we
we
lost
did.
to KC, and then we lost to.
We lost to the
somebody else.
Raiders. We lost to the Raiders on Thanksgiving Day.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
so with that being said, we had a good December. He overcame a lot this upcoming season. Now, he's not in I'll say in my top 5 coaches wise as Coach of the Year. I wouldn't give it to him. I'll give it to the one in me personally, I'll give it to the one in Buffalo. But
Yeah.
your consideration of Mike McCartney.
So I'm gonna start off by saying absolutely not. He is not a Coach of the Year candidate at all. A lot of the losses that we've had have been based on his decision making.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if I'm factoring that in, we could easily have the same record as Philly right now, to be totally honest. If you take away some coaching decisions, if Maher kicks that ball in overtime against Green Bay, do I know if we win? No, but
I mean,
we got a much better chance.
Goal.
Yeah,
I mean, I would rather, but it's a 52-yard field goal. So you're saying we kick that field goal, we make it, or we miss it.
yeah, and you live with whatever happens.
But
I could live with that
defensively-
more so than you calling a ridiculous play on 4th and 3
At your own end.
on your own side of the field.
He's trying to pump his chest up a little bit.
And
He's
that
trying to
was-
show that he's the man.
And that was my problem because you're doing this against your old team. You think I'm like Mike McCarthy? I think he thinks I'm dumb because, bro, you're not about to just come to your ex's house in a Bentley just so you can stunt That's basically what he tried to do. That's essentially what he tried to do. Knowing you got to take it back.
It's like your ex. It's like your ex is trying to welcome you with open arms. You see that? You see that crap with Aaron Rodgers?
That's what I'm saying.
I think that was Photoshop.
They was hugging all at the end, all in the end zone.
That's your ex that hasn't seen you in 2 years, but she has a new man.
And then you trying to be friendly. Like, fam, if you don't get out here with that. And so that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
like,
my goodness.
And that's one incident, but I'm speaking on a lot of different things because he makes very, very bad coaching decisions.
He does.
A lot.
He does.
On a regular basis.
But I'm not trying to defend him here.
Yeah.
But do you think now Dak is in year 8, right? Do you think he should, year 7, year 7, he should have control of those decisions? He should say, you know what, if we're 4th and 2, I got a power running back, I got another running back who's swifty, can we go for it?
Yeah.
And out their end, not our end. Because if we are in, that's a game for them.
Exactly.
And so to me, games like that, yes, it falls on the coach. But Dak has that control and that money to say, you know what, this is my team. I'm going to go with what we have.
And if that's the case, then I can live with Dak making that decision.
Yeah.
But when it comes from a coach who's not a player and who's not on the field,
right,
it hits a little different. I'm just being honest. Like,
I mean, that's how you lose games.
Yeah, that is how you lose games because you're putting your team in a situation where it's not a win-win.
No, it's not.
It's not a win-win situation. If they get it, cool. You still gotta hurry up, get back to the line, and go make a play. Go make another play.
Exactly.
And then if you don't get it, now you give them back the ball with a bunch of momentum to just run the ball right down the field and go get in field goal position.
That's what Green Bay did. They got the ball, threw a couple passes, and they won the game on a field goal.
And the thing about it, I'm going to quote Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless says, we're going to have to win in spite of Mike McCarthy. If I have to have a coach on my team that I have to win in spite of because of his decision making, that's a problem. And that's why you'll never be a Coach of the Year candidate to me. We would have to literally make it to an NFC Championship game and all of that kind of stuff.
Right.
For me to even feel
we could,
and we could, we have the potential.
We have the potential because if you look at it right now, we got the momentum. Like no other team outside of Philly and us has momentum. You could say the 49ers. You could say Minnesota. Well, even Washington, who everyone has said, you know, hey, they may not make the playoffs, but they're looking like it.
Yeah, they're sitting in playoff position right now.
Look at them.
All four NFC East teams are in the playoffs right now.
Playoffs right now, and all 4 of them can beat us any day. 3 of them can beat us any day if we make the right decisions at the right time. And that's what I'm saying. Dak can make those decisions.
Yeah, I think Dak should be the one, especially come playoff time.
Yeah.
To make those types of decisions.
This is every year everyone is always going to say quarterback or bust. What other quarterback have you seen in college that is lighting up the world right now?
Yeah.
No. I just watched. I was watching the highlights of Baylor versus Texas, and Quentin Ewers. This dude cannot throw the football to save his life. This dude, one play where he backed up, dropped the pass. He was trying to throw the football, and he lost it. He literally lost the football, and they scored a touchdown. Now, thank God they won the game running the football. Thank God, right? So, with that being said, to me, it's not quarterback or bust. To me, is the Cowboys. Are you gonna say, you know what, we're gonna put it on Dak's hands, or are we gonna have everyone fight for themselves?
And you know, too, another thing that really drives me nuts about Mike McCarthy is his post game interviews and stuff.
It's getting ridiculous.
Because you sound insane. Like
he's trying to be funny. He's trying to light up the room after a win.
And
no one's really trying to buy it.
No, I don't believe nothing that he says.
Really buy it.
I don't believe nothing that he says. I remember watching Hard Knocks last year, You want to talk about
he tried to motivate the
the first episode? I was like, bro, you are not motivating anybody with this Austin Powers story. I'm not motivated at all. I don't want to do anything.
He wants to bring somebody. He wants to bring somebody in. He wants to bring someone motivated in to motivate the team. But really, you can't. Like only a Nick Saban or Coach Prime can do that because they know people and they know the program
and they know the culture of the players that they're dealing with.
Like every camp, they bring Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is a Cowboys fan, right? And he motivates the team. He's a comedian, so he has motivational stuff. But obviously, he's going to say something funny.
Yeah.
Because he's a comedian. But guys like, I'm trying to find one, Denzel, he's not going to say anything funny. He's going to give you motivational quotes.
He's also a Cowboys fan.
He is a Cowboys fan. So guys like that, comedian and then motivational guy. I'd rather have the motivational guy. Well, you got to have a little fun at camp, so Jamie Foxx is there for a reason, than the motivational guy.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm not a Mike McCarthy fan, as y'all can tell.
You realize you get rid of Sean Payton. The first call will be Sean Payton. It's not even going to be the Rooney Rule that the fake Rooney Rule that they install. Like Jerry's going to say, you know what? I'm going to bring in Eric Bieniemy. But I already know who I'm going to hire.
The truth of the matter, I feel like the Cowboys don't even play the Rooney Rule game.
No.
They don't even play, which kind of brings us to, you want to talk about Jerry Jones and all of his stuff?
Jeez. God. Man. Yeah. I mean, jeez, I don't know, man. I mean, I was trying not to dive into it, but I say, you know what? That clip was for 65 years ago. This man's about to be 80. Well, he is 80. So I hate to defend him here, but it's like that young. I want to know where somebody found that photo at. Somebody found that photo. Someone must have been bored and want to dig some shit up and say, you know what? I want to find something to ruin this momentum for the Cowboys. I'm going to say, Jerry, watch these guys get lynched. Or better yet, I want to find something up and cause drama and make Jerry address it, which he did. But I don't know. That thing was 65 years ago.
So yeah, I agree with you. I think,
but I don't think he's anything outside of racist. I don't think he is.
I do believe that people can change.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly believe that. I believe mentalities and thought processes can change. But your response is a little off for me. And I think that because when he responded and said, I was a curious kid, that's not an acceptable response. You're 14 and that may be true. But at the end of the day, with your newfound knowledge and understanding, you would be able to provide a better explanation for that at 80 years old.
I was hoping he would provide a better explanation. I was listening to Stephen A. and Stephen A. was saying the same thing I'm saying right now. So I wish he would address it fully and say, you know what, my parents didn't teach me right in the South. I should be better.
Yeah, he's from Arkansas.
I should be better than my parents.
Yeah, and we as black people, we know history. Yeah, we know what Arkansas was in the 50s.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, come on now. Like we're not blind to that history.
Right.
But the reality is when we have knowledge of the history, as Jerry does because he was present for it. Yeah. You understand why it's so important for you to address it.
Exactly. You got 96% of the NFL is black.
Yeah, and
you got to understand, and your GM is black, even though he's not the GM because he works from the draft start. And I wish he was the GM because he'll make better decisions than Steven has. Yeah, or Jerry has ever done. And so I feel like you gotta address it a little bit better than that.
I was a curious kid is not acceptable.
No, like at 14 years old, I can remember not being a curious kid. I can remember,
knowing how to mind my business.
Right.
if it didn't have nothing to do with
exactly.
me. That's a teenager.
Right.
Come on now. Like, we know 14-year-olds. 14-year-olds actually don't want to be a part of anything.
Right.
That don't pertain to them.
Just ask them today.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to criticize him for it because that was the times.
Right.
That was what he was taught. You can only do what you're taught at that age.
Exactly.
And so I don't criticize him for it, but it's how you address it.
Right.
And on top of that, it makes me think back to all of his comments when Kaepernick was kneeling.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes me. It triggers some different things in me. It triggers some different thought processes.
It does.
So
it does to me. It does. It does bring that up a little bit. And I don't know, man. It's just. I don't want it to be a distraction than it is. You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
either.
I mean, granted, it's important. It's important that you address it, and then you say, you know what? You address it with the team in house. You don't have to give the reporters anything than what you have said.
Yeah.
Like, address it with your players. That's your team, and then go from there.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
because 80% of your locker room is black.
yeah, exactly.
And black and probably knows the history.
Knows the history a lot better.
Yeah.
And you kneeled. There's a picture where in 2017 he kneeled with the players.
Yeah.
And so he's all about the players.
Yeah.
I would say.
But to your point, he is all about the players. But is he only all about the players because they benefit him in his business?
Oh, man, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Because
that's taking advantage of.
Yeah.
You're taking advantage of that. You shouldn't. I don't know Jerry's mind though. I don't think
I can't speak to it either. I'm just curious.
If it is, then that's you're taking advantage of us. You cannot do that.
Because I mean, to be totally honest, he's the leader of this boys club we call ownership in the NFL.
Right.
So he is the biggest, the most valuable owner amongst all of them.
All dirty teams he controls.
Him and Robert Kraft, their word is everything.
Right.
So
exactly.
And you telling me over the last, he's been in ownership since what? The 80s?
The 80s, late 80s. Yeah, late 80s. Yeah.
Yeah. So
80s.
You telling me in all of this time, that's over almost 40 years.
Yeah. You can't.
No black owners, and you had that big of a voice.
It's such a shame.
So to me, it looks away. It looks crazy.
Such a shame.
It looks crazy to me.
To me, it does too, and it's just a shame, man. I think he should do a lot better than doing addressing the comments. And if he can't do that, then don't go on radio.
Yeah.
And talk about something else.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the problem I have. Don't go on radio and talk about something else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't. I never. Always, when I hear a Jerry or a Steven interview, I turn in radio off because of what you said about Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Ever since that came along, and ever since Trump was president, and he's not anymore, I haven't listened to a Jerry interview. Now, granted, I did last year when he was, I think it was some controversy, so I can't remember what happened last year. But I look for the controversy in Jerry. That's when I say, you know what? I'll listen. I'll listen, but I won't listen to DJs asking him about the next opponent.
Yeah.
Or better yet, address the history that you were in that photo. You could address it better.
Yeah.
You know vividly 65 years ago what happened.
Yeah. And you know the state that you lived in.
Exactly.
You know the state that you grew up in has a racist history, just like the state that you operate in currently, Texas.
Has a racist history and still does.
And still does. So at the end of the day, you have to know the climate. We're in a climate where you can be canceled for anything. Some rightfully so, some not so.
Yeah, I mean, look at, and I hate to bring him up. I look at Kanye. Kanye's been canceled all this year.
Yeah.
Kyrie's been, he's been semi-canceled. But look at everybody else.
Yeah.
We're quick to cancel people, and all you gotta do is just change, man. All you gotta do is have a change behavior, and that's it.
And it's really just about choosing the words that you say. You got to understand that you are a public figure. Exactly. This is for all celebrities, athletes, anybody. Like you are a public figure, and you have a responsibility to watch how you talk in the public. How you speak in private, that's between you and your people. You know, any people be recording that stuff too and putting it out. So that's not your fault.
No.
Your opinion is your opinion behind closed doors. That's between you and the people that you're talking to and the people that you trust.
Exactly.
But when you come out into the public, there is a responsibility because people are looking to you, which I hate personally. You shouldn't be looking at no celebrities for nothing.
No, you shouldn't be. And
the reality is people do.
People do. And they put hard-earned dollars into the season. Yeah. Like, I don't know why they put hard-earned dollars into a season that the Cowboys could be Super Bowl champs or bust, not even make the postseason. Yeah. Which, I mean, it's your money's your money. But at the end of the day, you have to do a little bit better. Yeah. With your comments. Yeah. You are, like you said, you are the highest profile figure out there. Like, everybody's looking for Jerry. Everybody there is looking for a Cowboys game to watch because of Jerry. Why do we have 2 Sunday night games or a Monday night game? We have a Thursday night game. We do. Like, because of Jerry. Yeah.
I drive past their facility every day, the practice facility in Frisco, every day.
Look at that, dude. That thing is growing. That thing now is a basketball gym. It could be turned. They have the last 2 years, COVID, right? They had the Conference USA basketball tournament. The last 2 years there in the basketball, in that gym over there. That's how much you're bringing in. You're bringing in people from all across to come see that beautiful practice facility you have built for a basketball game or any concerts or anything else. And they're growing. They're growing. So a lot more people are moving to Frisco to be closer to that facility. They want to see it. I haven't seen it personally. I want to go see it.
The moment the Cowboys got there, it raised the value in that entire city. Same thing with a bunch of other businesses coming to that city. Frisco's turned into Beverly Hills. Like, honestly, like, all jokes aside, like, it's really turned into the most affluent area in the DFW.
So you got to be careful with what you say because look at what you built. That can come down in a matter of seconds.
And the benefit for Jerry, and I got to be honest about this, the benefit for Jerry is that he is not black.
He's not.
Because the things that we're held accountable for are not the same as what people in power, I'll say, are being held accountable for.
He's got to be held accountable, but he's not.
And the thing about, like, with this situation, I don't want to get too I'm just saying, using Jerry as an example, because really this situation doesn't warrant him being canceled. It doesn't warrant.
No, I don't think it does.
I'm using him as an example because of the figure that he is. He represents big business.
He does. He brings in value. Yeah, you know, all that stuff. But that's a good point. But I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Let's transition. But coming up next, we will talk about the UNT versus the UTSA. Actually, we'll recap the Rice game. That's coming up next. It's Fishbowl Radio.
I'm coming home. I'm coming home.
We're back? All right. Hey, welcome back to the Jamie Egenti Show right here on Fishbowl Radio. Shout out to Gabe for that awesome take on the New York Giants versus the Cowboys. So the Cowboys play the Colts next week. So if he's here, we'll talk about it. If he's not, then we will definitely talk about it. So, with that being said, my team, the North Texas Mean Green, the football team, are going to the championship game. Now, what do I think about this against Rice? We had to win this game to get to the championship game. Why is that? Why we got to win one game to get to the championship game? I thought we already solidified that when we tried to beat UAB. We got beat by 20 points at UAB. But then again, they're UAB. Rice this game, guys, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say a win's a win at this point. I can't say. We can't play like this. We were a 14-point underdog. I'm sorry, a 14-point favorite in that game, and we won that game at 4 points. We play lackluster. We didn't want it. We wanted Western Kentucky to get in the championship game instead of us. What goal do you have to say, you know what, we need to be in that championship game? Come on, man. But let's dive into this game here. But Ani, okay, dude, thank God you're a senior. Just thank God. Because I have never seen a quarterback play this way. How are you going to take that play to the next level? You'll be eaten alive in the next level. Come on, man. I'm expecting a better performance from this. Throw the football. Stop being scared. Your two running backs are out. They're out of the game. We are down to our third and fourth running back, guys. That's how bad it's gotten. Like, come on, man. We had to run the football this time. Like I mentioned, Texas had to run the football. When Quinn Ayers fumbled, Baylor scored a touchdown. Texas had to run it. They had to use B.J. Robinson and Roshan Johnson to get them to win. We could not play you could not play like that. And then everyone rallies behind you and say, we got a great quarterback. What great quarterback do you have? A great quarterback will dominate defenses. Will throw 400 yards. Will throw over 5 touchdowns. And I know I'm exaggerating, but it's true. But Rice did come in with a mission, though. They wanted this game, guys. They were about to get their 6th win until they made a mistake. They threw an interception on the last drive, and that was history. Okay? Their quarterback wasn't that bad. He has a future. Keep that same core together for Rice, and then, hey, they can win in the next few years. They can be better than us. They can be better than us. And that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. But is this team ready, guys? Are we ready to win a championship? Are we ready? We don't have anybody. Who are we going to bank on? The best player on our team is KD Davis. He's the linebacker, which, by the way, I have reached out to him, and I'm hoping he'll be on the show. KD Davis, if you're listening, can you come on this show so that we can interview you? Listen, after the game or before the bowl game, let's do it. Okay? Thank you. All right, so there's not one player that I can, outside of KD Davis, I can bank on. I can't. I said the quarterback. I said the running back. They're both hurt. I can say the wide receiver, but Ani doesn't get the ball to them. So I can't do this anymore. I can't. And to settle for 6 or 7 wins, I mean, most fans there would settle for 6 or 7 wins. I don't. I can't settle for 6 or 7. I'll settle for 8 or 9. Worst case scenario, 8. This is not an 8-win football team. This is more of a 4 to 7 win football club. We cannot have this crap every single year. You're building stadium. You're building stuff after stuff after stuff after stuff after stuff. But yet you can only produce 4 to 7 wins every year. You can't do that crap. You can't. We got to have a winning culture. And this is why I wanted to take a serious look at Seth Littrell. We got to take a serious look, guys. Is he the coach for the next conference? Is he the coach of the next future? And all that stuff. I can't do this. I cannot have him be my coach of this football team. I can't. You know why? Because he'll give us results like this. And I fear that we'll go to San Antonio and lay an egg. That's the fear. That's the fear. Unless you have a quarterback spy that can stop the quarterback. Unless you're aggressive in the passing game, which we're not. You're going to run the football. You're going to wear them out. That's not the goal. The goal is to win the football game. You do all those intangibles, then you'll bring a championship home. If you don't, then you're left at 7-6. And you know what? The goofy athletic director would be like, "Oh, we're going to hire him as a coach. we're going to have him as a coach again." No, we're not. I don't want that. I don't want mediocrity. I don't want people to settle for mediocre. I don't want people to settle for this. I won't settle for this. This is why I don't buy memberships at their stadium. I can't settle for a 4 to 7 win team. I can't. If I bought a membership at 25 Fitness, I have to get the best results. That's why whenever I walk in there, I always tell them I want the best results. Or I say, I'm walking out and going to the next gym. That's what I'm doing with UNT. I'll still support you from afar. Maybe I'll support the basketball team, the men's basketball team. Maybe I'll support the women's basketball team. Which, by the way, we will talk about. Coming up. So stay tuned for that. Okay. So because I am tired again of mediocrity. I'm not even going to beg with Seth Littrell anymore. I'm tired of him. I'm done. I'm tired. Like, if we win a ball game, if we win a championship, that's great. But I am done with this guy. I want a new coach. With that being said, guys, so we are 8-point underdog come Friday. So watch the game. We'll talk about it next episode. But stay tuned because we got the Colts. We'll recap that game. And also we'll definitely recap the UTSA UNT game and where they go from here as far as the bowl-wise. So thank you guys for listening and watching. Appreciate it. Support me on all the socials. And you guys have a great day and see y'all next week.